Have you ever met someone who instantly earned your respect before they even spoke? What if I told you that your body speaks long before your voice does? Before we dive in, if you're passionate about becoming the best version of yourself, hit that subscribe button and join our community of growth and purpose. Today, we're exploring how respect begins with presence, not words. Let's uncover how your posture, your eyes, and even the way you stand can shape how the world perceives you and how you perceive yourself. 1. The silent language of respect. Respect isn't always spoken, it's felt. It exists in the quiet moments between gestures, in the pauses before words, and in the way one carries themselves through the world. Before a single word escapes your lips, your presence has already spoken volumes. The human body is a language far older than speech, a subtle dialect of movement, stillness, and intention. The way you stand, the way you breathe, and even the way your eyes meet another's tell a story about who you are and what you value. A person who moves with dignity doesn't need to demand attention. They command it through the silent authority of composure. When you enter a room, your energy precedes you like a shadow. People sense confidence, calm, or insecurity long before you've had the chance to explain yourself. This is why respect begins long before dialogue. It's born from the way you relate to yourself. Stoicism reminds us that control over the self is the foundation of all virtue. If you cannot respect your own boundaries, time, or body, how can you expect others to? Self-respect radiates outward. Just as self-neglect seeps through in slumped shoulders, wandering eyes, or restless movements, the body always tells the truth, even when words lie. True respect, then, begins in silence. It's in the way you listen fully without interrupting, in the way you allow space for others to express themselves without rushing to fill the air with your opinions. Respect is restraint. It's patience in practice. The Stoics taught that a wise person measures their worth not by how much they speak, but by the quality of their presence. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The same principle applies here. Waste no time demanding respect. Live in a way that commands it naturally. Imagine two people speaking. One listens with a still gaze, nodding slightly, their posture upright yet relaxed. The other fidgets, glances at their phone, or looks past the speaker. The difference in respect is tangible. The first says, without words, "You matter, I am present." The second communicates distraction, even disregard. Respect doesn't live in declarations, it breathes through awareness. When you respect yourself enough to be fully present, you automatically extend that same respect to others. To carry yourself with quiet strength is to honor both yourself and those around you. This doesn't mean arrogance or rigidity, it means moving with intention. When you walk, walk with purpose. When you stand, stand with poise. When you speak, speak with clarity. And when you listen, listen as though every word could hold a lesson. The silent language of respect is always fluent to those who live deliberately. You don't need to shout your worth. The calm confidence of a steady gaze and a centered presence says everything. 2. Posture and presence matter. Think about this. When you walk into a room, what message does your body send? Do you move as if you belong there, or do you shrink as if apologizing for taking up space? The Stoics believed that our external composure mirrors our internal state. A disciplined mind expresses itself through a disciplined body. Posture, in this sense, is not vanity. It's philosophy made visible. When you hold yourself upright, you declare silently, "I am present, I am grounded, I am capable." This doesn't come from ego, but from self-respect, the quiet acknowledgement that your presence has value. Your posture tells others how to treat you before you've said a word. A stooped back or hesitant gait suggests uncertainty. An upright stance communicates calm assurance. Yet posture is not performance. It must arise naturally from within. Stoicism teaches that the external follows the internal. You cannot fake true presence. You can mimic confidence, but the body always betrays the truth of the mind. Real presence is not about puffing your chest or locking your jaw. It's about balance. It's the effortless poise that emerges when you have nothing to prove. Observe a seasoned leader, a wise elder, or a master craftsman at work. They don't rush. Their movements are measured, efficient, and serene. That's presence. It's not the loudest voice or the biggest gesture that commands a room. It's the centered individual whose calm is contagious. The Stoics called this apatheia, freedom from the disturbance of passions. When you embody this stillness, people notice, not because you demand attention, but because your tranquility contrasts the chaos around you. The world gravitates toward equilibrium, and presence is balance made visible. A straight spine, a lifted chin, relaxed shoulders, these are not just physical cues, they're declarations of self-respect. Each one says, I am in control of myself. They anchor you in the moment and remind you of your agency. This is why the Stoics valued discipline not only in thought, but in body. A calm posture is both armor and invitation. It shields you from agitation and opens you to understanding. You don't need to dominate a room. You simply need to occupy your space with clarity and purpose. Presence isn't loud. It doesn't clamor for validation or compete for attention. True presence whispers, and yet it's unmistakable. It's the power of being fully here, alert, composed, unshaken. In a world obsessed with noise, your calm becomes magnetic. People feel safe around those who are steady. They trust those who seem untroubled by chaos. That's the essence of Stoic posture, not stiffness, but serenity. When your mind stands tall, your body follows. When your body is grounded, your mind settles. Posture and presence are not separate. They are reflections of the same inner harmony. 3. Practical strategies for instant impact. Philosophy without practice is mere theory. Stoicism has always been a philosophy of action, and respect, like virtue, must be lived, not just understood. The way you move through daily interactions determines how others perceive you, and, more importantly, how you perceive yourself. Here are a few simple but powerful habits that can transform both perception and self-image. Eye contact. It's not about staring, it's about connection. When you look someone in the eye, you say without words, I see you. Too little eye contact signals uncertainty. Too much feels aggressive. The key lies in balance, steady, open, attentive. Eye contact builds trust because it shows presence. In the Stoic sense, it's an act of mindfulness. You're not drifting in thought. You're here, engaging with what is. Every moment of honest connection strengthens both your confidence and your credibility. A firm handshake, not dominance, but assurance. A handshake is a small ritual that reveals much. A limp grasp suggests disengagement. A crushing grip implies insecurity masquerading as strength. The ideal handshake is firm yet measured, a gesture of mutual respect. The Stoic doesn't seek to overpower but to connect. They meet others with grounded energy, a steady hand that reflects an equally steady mind. Small acts like these accumulate. They shape how others experience your character. Open posture. Avoid crossed arms or slouched shoulders. Stay open, mentally and physically. Your body should mirror your willingness to engage with the world. A closed posture often signals defense or discomfort. An open one invites dialogue. Try standing with your feet shoulder-width apart, shoulders back, and your chest relaxed. Not rigid, just ready. Over time, this stance does more than alter how others see you. It changes how you feel within your own skin. The Stoics knew that if you wish to master your mind, begin by mastering your body. Beyond gestures, consider the power of stillness. Resist the urge to fidget, overreact, or rush. When you move deliberately, people sense composure. When you pause before speaking, people listen. Small behavioral shifts, controlled breathing, mindful listening, measured tone, signal authority born from inner calm. You cannot control how others perceive you, but you can always control the message your presence sends. These small adjustments are deceptively powerful. They not only alter how others perceive you, but reshape how you perceive yourself. Respect is cyclical. The more you embody it, the more it returns to you. Every gesture, every breath, every stance is a chance to practice Stoic dignity in motion. The world takes its cues from your posture, but your posture, in turn, takes its cues from your mind. Begin within, stand tall, and let your presence do the speaking. 4. A real-life example. Think of someone like a great public speaker or leader, someone who commands attention without demanding it. They don't need to shout or posture aggressively to be seen. Their presence alone speaks volumes. Watch closely, and you'll notice that they move with a kind of quiet certainty, the sort of grace that comes not from vanity, but from self-possession. They know where they are, they know what they stand for, and so the room adjusts around them. This isn't charisma built on charm or theatrics. It's charisma born from integrity. Consider, for example, someone like Nelson Mandela standing before a divided nation. His power did not come from his voice being louder than others. It came from the stillness in his demeanor, the calm rooted in conviction. Even those who opposed him could not deny his moral presence. This is the power of posture, not just of the body, but of the spirit. Mandela carried the weight of decades of injustice, yet he stood upright, not bowed. His bearing reminded everyone that dignity cannot be taken from the one who refuses to surrender it. Or imagine a great teacher speaking to a hall full of restless students. They do not scold or command silence. Instead, they wait. Slowly, the energy in the room begins to shift. One by one, voices fade, chairs stop creaking, and attention gathers. What changed? Nothing external. The teacher simply stood, calm, composed, and present. Their confidence radiated without arrogance. Their eyes met the room without fear. They carried a silent message. I am steady, and you can be too. That's the essence of Stoic presence, a kind of quiet authority that comes from being in command of yourself. Even in everyday life, this principle holds. Think of someone you know who never seems rattled, who moves through arguments, delays, or disappointments without losing their center. They don't need to prove themselves because their actions already testify to who they are. When they speak, they do so with clarity and purpose. When they listen fully. Such people seem to slow down time itself. They remind us that leadership isn't about dominance, it's about composure. It's about being the calm eye in the storm, not the wind that stirs it. This kind of presence is available to anyone, but it requires practice. It's not about pretending to be unbothered or forcing a confident stance. It's about aligning your external bearing with your internal state. The Stoics taught that virtue should be visible, not through display, but through harmony. When your posture, your tone, and your intention are all in agreement, people can feel it. They sense something trustworthy in you. The irony is that the moment you stop trying to impress, you begin to inspire. So, when you walk into a room, stand tall, not to appear superior, but to honor yourself. Let your shoulders relax, let your breath steady. Speak only when you have something worth saying, and when you do, say it with care. You don't need to be loud to be heard. True presence comes from a deep inner stillness that others instinctively recognize. It's not performance, it's authenticity made visible. And that is why people admire those who seem effortlessly confident. They are not chasing validation, they are embodying respect. 5. The Stoic motivation behind it all. True strength lies in self-mastery. The Stoics knew that the greatest victories are not won on battlefields or stages, but within the human mind. They taught that the way you carry yourself is not a mere detail. It's a reflection of how you govern your own soul. To stand tall is not vanity. It's a declaration of discipline. When your posture reflects control, your thoughts tend to follow that order. And when your thoughts are orderly, your emotions find balance. Body and mind, they believed, must work together like two sides of a single blade, each sharpening the other. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This mastery begins with awareness of your reactions, your habits, and even the small physical cues that betray your state of mind. A slumped posture is rarely just about comfort. It can signal resignation. A clenched jaw often hides anger or fear. To the Stoics, noticing these things wasn't vanity. It was philosophy in motion. For every gesture is a statement of your relationship with the world, and when your gestures are disciplined, your mind becomes disciplined too. When you stand tall through life's challenges, you do more than present confidence. You practice courage. You remind yourself that no circumstance, no insult, no failure has the right to make you small. The Stoics faced exile, imprisonment, and loss, yet they held their composure. Marcus Aurelius, burdened with empire and war, wrote not of conquest, but of self-control. He urged himself daily to be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. To stand tall, even metaphorically, is to become that rock. In a world that constantly tempts you to react, to lash out, to defend, to perform, Stoicism calls for stillness. It asks you to reclaim your posture, both physical and mental. Straighten your back not out of pride, but out of principle. Look forward not with defiance, but with purpose. Each time you do, you affirm that your worth is self-contained. You don't need the approval of others to be whole. You don't need applause to feel significant. Respect, in the Stoic sense, begins within, and once it's cultivated there, it naturally radiates outward. That's the deeper motivation behind the Stoic discipline: integrity, to embody respect rather than demand it, to show through your bearing that you are not at the mercy of moods or misfortune. Every time you resist slouching under pressure, every time you choose calm over chaos, you are practicing philosophy, not in words, but in form. You are living your values through the simple act of standing as you wish to be remembered, steady, conscious, and free. In the end, posture is not about appearance. It's about alignment. When your body, mind, and values are aligned, the world senses it. You move through life not as a victim of events, but as a participant in your own destiny. That's why respect isn't something you ask for. It's something you embody. It flows naturally from a life ordered around inner strength. The Stoics didn't stand tall because they were proud. They stood tall because they understood who they were. And when you understand that, when you know yourself, you don't need to prove anything at all. Now it's your turn. Stand up straight, breathe deeply, lift your head, and let your presence speak before your voice does. Remember, respect starts before words, and the first person you must respect is yourself. If this message resonated with you, subscribe, leave a comment, and share this with someone who's ready to level up their presence, because every step toward better body language is a step toward a stronger, more confident you.